Hello everybody, and welcome to the return of sorts of the podcast, which is very keen to be high in the sky, but also down to earth with our actual thinking about this series. You are finding us here, back again, up on the lookout. Who might be new to this, Up on the Lookout is a Dragon Ball podcast with a difference. Not only do we wish to share our passion for Dragon Ball, but we wish to do it in a more laid-back situation. And with this, we just ask you to relax and take stock of what's been going on in this medium as of late. I am Masako X, and joining me is my trusty sidekick, Havarog.
Hello, I am the Alpha and the Amiga.
Yes, he is also the terror that flaps in the night. But yes, Up on the Lookout, we've had a bit of a break. We've only been doing the Dragon Ball Super episodes as of late because we've been trying to do some restructuring in terms of the main YouTube channel. But we think we've got something down which we can actually start doing some more regular content. But if you have been listening, thank you so much for your patience. And I will also be doing the Up on the Lookout Storytime ones more regularly as well. If you wish to support the podcast going forward, you can become a patron of The Lookout by going to masako.cc/lookout for more information. But right, let's get to the main topic. With that, let's get started. Okay, so I think it's safe to say that the episodes that we have been doing a lot are the Dragon Ball Super manga reviews. We've been doing them, and a lot of you out there really do dig the fact that we do these quite a bit. But I think we need to actually talk about the ram in the room. And that is Dragon Ball Super Chapter 64. In a nutshell, it sort of breaks your theory, sort of. Do you agree with that?
Does it break my theory? I think, like the funny thing is that if I would read the spoilery resume, I would be like, nope, I would hate this arc, this chapter. But actually, like, I think I share most of people's opinions that while it doesn't do it for me narratively, I think it makes up visually for its narrative downfalls.
I would definitely say that it's very, very up and down, especially at the end. But one thing's for sure is that this arc definitely got off to a very strong start. But I think this is something that it's a shame, really, because the Tournament of Power ended on a really good note. Like, it was a bit jumbled and there was a lot of stuff going on in it, but at the same time, it did have a really fantastic ending for what it was, especially for Dragon Ball. But now it's sort of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of spiraling downwards, taking its time. And there are some things that we will talk about later on in the podcast that we do think that maybe this might not be the end after all, because I think we've said on many occasions that if this goes to nearly 20 chapters long, it's too long. This isn't like your bog standard manga chapter, which is usually about 18, 20, 22 pages. Each chapter of Dragon Ball, there's a lot of it. There's 40. So it's like having two regular sized chapters in one go. So in a way, you're talking nearly 40 chapters for something that is not as active or sprawling as One Piece. This is just one fight that's going on probably in some capacity for 5 chapters. So nearly a quarter of the length of the arc has been the final battle with Vegeta and Goku and Miras.
Oh, do you want me to tell that? It kinda seems like, again, this chapter feels more like an anime long fight instead of proper manga.
Yes, of course. This is another one of Hav's theories, which I do think has a lot of legs, of Toyotaro dropping hints that you really should make this an anime. This is how I view it, because I grew up with the anime and the manga. Yeah, it's Toyotaro pitching to be a storyboarder for the anime. And honestly, that wouldn't be a bad shout. having him in as a consultant, as part of the storyboarding crew, that would be not a bad idea, because he's the guy that created the original images in the manga. So, if you have him there to explain why he did it and what he has more for in terms of actual angles, and you'd be able to drag it out, I think it's a very efficient idea if he was actually involved.
Toriyama is involved, our more artsy friends pointed that out, that basically you can see the ear corrections, because Toriyama and Toyotaro have very different ways of drawing ears, and we have a lot of Toriyama ears in that one, so Toriyama did actually correct a lot in that chapter. Maybe that's why it's so spectacular.
I see. Yeah, because there's one thing that we really need to bring up, and that's the fact that the level of detail and the drawings in this chapter are probably one of the best in the arc. They are so detailed, they are so intricate, and in a way it doesn't really matter that Toyotaro is trying to ape the anime in terms of composition. It all looks really stunning. In terms of an artist, you can tell that Toyotaro has improved since being commissioned to do the Super manga, and being allowed to be the first one on the scene, instead of having to basically copy the same notes that Toriyama gave at the beginning, is it's actually proving to be reaping dividends. And as you said, with Toriyama coming in and doing more corrections, it shows that he does have some kind of faith in this product, because Toriyama has a lot of money and he doesn't have to do this much stuff. The higher ups were more than happy just him providing bullet points and then maybe a cursory glance every now and again. But the fact he's coming in and doing some corrections, even though they're quite small, shows that he is involved, and it might actually prove to be quite good in terms of people who want an anime, because it means he's active in the story. And he might be just going yeah, you know what? Yeah, once this arc's done, let's produce the anime. Let's get that started. Or at the very least, the movie. There is either going to be a movie or it's going to be the start of a series, or both. Depends on the amount of money that they have to invest. And in terms of Dragon Ball, it's a lot. I'm going to be doing an upcoming discussion about 5 possible movie plots for Dragon Ball Super. I mean, I think our biggest shout, though, it's going to be Cooler involved in some way, because Cooler's involved so much in Dragon Ball Heroes. He's still a very popular character, and Frieza has something to do with him. And if it means that you can have Frieza in it again, of course they're going to have him in there. It's the safer bet.
Yeah, the second best guest after Cooler is Janemba.
Yeah, either that, or they could be really super duper safe, and I really hope they don't do this, is that they just do the Moro arc as a movie. If they did that, that is the biggest cop-out ever.
I think, it's a little bit too long. A little bit, the problem with Moro Saga for me right now is too much interesting stuff happens here to be skipped by the anime, I think. And if somebody want, although I can technically see a movie, you would have to gloss over and skip so many cool little scenes, because I think that the parts where Moro Saga excels are those little scenes, little callbacks, that kind of stuff, and you would have to cut a lot of those.
Yeah, and you cut those, and then you would stretch things out way too long, like the battle with the dragon team, like Yamcha, Tenshinhan, and Chaozu. That would be dragged out way longer than it needs to be. I can imagine that moment taking up a good, I don't know, at least a quarter of the movie. It would have to be a 2.5 hour movie. That's a long movie. I mean, granted, they would get their money back. I know they would, because, Dragon Ball, it made a 14x return on its original investment. $8.5 million it cost to make. They got 125 at the box office. That's insane. And that if they get their release schedule absolutely spot on, then it would be even better.
If they, gave some countries, including mine, normal releases, they would earn even more.
Yeah, exactly. And if they really wanted to like do it very quickly and it would take too long to dub, subtitle the Japanese version or the English version. And then when they put it on DVD, you then can dub it. Yeah, that's an easy way to get it out quickly, and it's cheap. So that's the thing, cheap. But okay, we're getting distracted. Let's get back to the Moro arc, because it's good to see that we at least want to see this Moro arc adapted into some animated form. And it's a big hook because people do want to see the animated version, including Toyotaro. And in terms of everything else, it is a very cathartic chapter, in my opinion, because Moro over the last few chapters has been extremely cruel and vicious, and the visuals have reflected that. And now, with Goku getting mastered Ultra Instinct, it's just proving now the tables have turned again, and we're now seeing Moro getting all of the pain, and it's actually very satisfying seeing him having all of these temper tantrums and basically Goku smashing him back down again. It's like what we did in DBZA with Semi-Perfect Cell. And it's just go, it's like, I don't want to lose. I want. Like basically him having a temper tantrum for not being perfect.
What I must say is that although I was, initially afraid of Goku just getting, mastered, UI and it being just another transformation, I must say that I think this is the hands down the best moment from this transformation in the manga, like of all Ultra Instincts. You really can feel how it works here. It's really utilized good, because in TOP you had the feeling that Toyotaro really didn't want to draw this, like it was just a power-up. But here you can see, all those tricks utilized in a pretty, brutal, effective way. I really hope that there is a twist to the mastered UI, like that one day, we discussed that a few days ago, that one day mastered UI will become something that Goku cannot simply turn off, and it will suck off his enjoyment of fighting, and he will try to forget it.
Yeah. So, well, it'll be just harking back to when he got the Super Saiyan God power, in that he didn't like the power. He didn't like it because he didn't earn it. He was just given it. And yeah, he did earn this power, but it may have like an interesting side effect. Like, it could just it's the highest end and nothing comes close to it in terms of power. So it trivializes every single battle. So why would Goku use it?
That, and, the other thing is that, it's your body reacting. So your body, I don't think his body could differentiate, a friendly sparring from a real battle. So no more sparring with Krillin, because if Krillin, play fights you, your body wants to kill him because he attacks you.
Yeah, exactly. It's instinctive. And it goes back to something I know a lot of people said at the ending that was very concerning. And with Beerus going, I've got a bad feeling about this. Not only is that it's not necessarily a Star Wars reference because of that thing, but a lot of people are getting worried that oh great, he's gonna let Moro go, or he's gonna spare him. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, that does cross my thoughts, as in I really hope it doesn't. But I thought, well, let's just take a different interpretation. Maybe this is Goku's body deciding to go, no, I'm going to straight up kill him. As in, you straight up kill him as an Earthling. He tried to destroy my planet. He has said that he's going to try and destroy my planet. So I want to save and defend my Earth, really, my home. And I'm going to do it for this planet, not anybody else. So being selfish, which Goku has always been. And also, it might mean that it's just the gloves are off. As in, I'm just because he's wanting to clarify the death penalty, because, if he was part of the Galactic Patrol, they'd be like, oh, well, okay, I will subdue him, you can take him back, and then you can do the death penalty. No, Goku wants to end it himself. And I don't think there is any way that the Galactic Patrol would just let Goku do it. Jarko would have to straight up say, no, you cannot do this. And with everybody healed, you could probably get Vegeta coming in don't you dare Kakarot, because everyone by now will have been healed because there's been a lot of time happening because, Dende is there and everyone's now recovered. So I can imagine Vegeta coming in now with Moro hamstrung, having less power and on the back foot. So we think it could lead to Vegeta coming in and stopping Goku from letting him go. So the idea of Vegeta getting the final kill is still up in the air.
Also, we have two Chekhov's gun that haven't shot yet, and this chapter was pretty good with shooting its Chekhov's gun. First is Krillin with the Senzu. Some people think that Moro may steal a Senzu. The other that I just sent you is from Alex Mason, also known as Unreal and Gaming, is Moro's arm.
Absolutely. And this is something that we didn't notice when we did the manga review because we were frantically just trying to get it out there and our initial reactions. But now we've noticed that, and this is something I've actually now remember people saying, that one of Moro's gems has not been destroyed. It was just, his arm is still, somewhere. It's like with Cell Juniors all over again. Well, Moro's arm's still there and the gem is still intact, which means that, can Moro use his magic to summon his arm and then basically just absorb power? So he might not be able to use that power, but he can at least take away the power. So that means Goku just falls out of Ultra Instinct or something like that. That's a possible theory. But it just means that that's Moro's last resort. And in a way, I'm thinking, okay, that's a good thing to remember. That's a bit of a twist. But at the same time, it makes you think, for God's sake, just end the battle, please.
Yeah. That's the... I'm torn, I must say, because it's starting to drag on. But on the other hand, I like the idea of, Moro not simply being finished. If Moro can somehow reattach the arm, with the use of whatever, Senzu or anything, can you imagine how crazy it would be to have an enemy, a villain with Ultra Instinct?
Oh, yeah. That exactly. Especially after basically, because he doesn't know this power at all. He is completely unaware of this power, so he wants it, because he wants power. So now he's seen it in action. It's this Ultra Instinct power is absolutely to my desire. And incidentally, if we ever do a dubbed Moro, we are definitely giving a Scottish accent. So anyone who could do a good Scottish accent, you know where to come and let me know. But it just makes me now think, why did Mirrors not seal that one? Because he would probably think 1, 2, 3. Wait, where's the other one? Yeah, so you think that Mirrors would have done that there and then. There has to be a reason. There can't be just Mirrors just was careless or he couldn't count. There has to be some thematic reason or logic behind Mirrors doing that. But Mirrors isn't here to tell us. So you can't do the typical anime thing of, Goku is using that, or the reason why I didn't was because such and such. So yeah, Mirrors is genuinely not coming back. And I think a lot of people don't realize this. Mirrors is dead. The cosmos said no. The cosmos yeeted him out of existence.
He got banned. He literally got banned for hacks,
Yeah, exactly. He's been it's one of those images you see, you've been banned for 30,000 days. I will go back again and say that it is a good chapter for a Dragon Ball manga, as in the action is there. It's so fluid. It's mostly martial arts, as in it's mostly close quarter combat. And the transformation to Master Ultra Instinct is something that is definitely up there with bringing in the significance, because it's in complete contrast to when Vegeta got his Blue Evolution power. Blue Evolution just happens. I remember it happening in the anime, and I was like, is this a new form? Is that it? I mean, going back to Resurrection F as well, because Blue, that just happens. It just happens. I remember seeing leaked images of Blue, and I was like, okay, is this something that they just get? Yeah, as in they acquire in the midst of a fight? No, it's just something they've been training with. Okay. And that's why people have been a bit lukewarm about Blue. As in, they're like, yeah, it's all right. Kaioken Blue's cool, though, but only because Kaioken's attached to it. So it's something that I think Toyotaro is understanding. You need to give the transformations or techniques importance. He's done that here. He's definitely done that here.
No doubt. Also, can we talk about one thing, one important but little thing that I really like about this chapter? Jacko. Like, Jacko is awesome in those last few chapters.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think this chapter was important to give Jacko some sort of development. And it's not like, you don't need to give him a mini arc or anything like that. It just shows that in the midst of this is why Jacko is a super elite. Because he is here to stay behind, letting his other, co-workers go off and do their thing. He's chosen to stay behind and help, oversee Goku. He's not scared. I mean, he is scared, but he's not scared.
He's the archetype of the brave coward.
He is here as part of the Galactic Patrol to oversee Goku and also to make sure that Moro is brought to justice in some shape or form. So there is some sort of understanding now as to why he is a super elite. But yeah, he's definitely come on board. And I'm pretty sure that Toriyama was like really happy about that. Just that he is now becoming not just a gag character, because he could easily have been just a gag character, like the bridge between Arale and the Dragon Ball characters. So he was that goofball character who claims to be a super elite, but is completely and utterly useless. And yeah, he's not exactly strong, but now he's actually proving, there is a reason now why he is high up in the Galactic Patrol. As in, he is willing to do what he can, and he actually is a true believer of the Galactic Patrol. He's not doing just this for the money and the prestige. He genuinely believes the cause. And that is just like, wow, okay, I now feel differently about you, Jacko. Good, I like that.
And, if they keep up, whatever happened to Mirrors, like if they don't do some silly revert situation, oh no, he's alive, poop, it will be nice to see.
Oh God, no.
You know that they might. We all know that they might, but I hope not. I
really don't. No. Please, if they did that, I will scream. I will completely scream, because it's just like this needs to have consequences, and it's just like you can't just go like, oh yeah, I died, but then I didn't.
Yeah.
Or you can't even have him being reincarnated somewhere else. I mean, okay, it's the start of a new chapter of his life, but it's like, what life is that? And you think, well, okay, are we done with him? Bye? No, he genuinely needs to be, if he's going to be the Android 16 facsimile, you need to follow through. 16, despite everyone thinking, oh, Bulma could have had a backup of him, because she could have easily done that. Like, she took out his bomb, so she did tinker with his body.
That would still be a different person.
Yeah, but 16 could have still been in there, and that would have been enough for quite a lot of people. Just seeing 16 around. Just go, hey, 16. Hello. That's all they need to do. They just wheel him out on occasion in the background. That's all you need to do for the likes of Poir and Oolong and Krillin sometimes. Yeah, I mean, those side characters.
Listen, crazy idea. But what would you say if Goku did let Moro go, and in a twist, Moro didn't go ballistic after everyone else, but just peaced out?
That would be anticlimactic.
Yeah. Listen, because I am thinking that maybe if Moro survives, maybe Whis has finally found his GOD candidate. Basically, in this chapter, we didn't know exactly, what Moro's main motivation is. And he says something like this: I am Moro, consumer of words. The gods' creations are mine to devour.
Oh, right. I see. I get where you're going with this.
Yeah.
That, for the longest time, Whis has wanted Goku or Vegeta to become the next GOD because they're strong. And they're fairly good in terms of their work ethic, especially Vegeta. But they've got attachments, they've got emotional baggage, they have loved ones, and they would have to give that all up. We don't know how a person's mind changes when they become a GOD. Do they lose their memories? Do they have to have some kind of like bypass of emotions? You don't know. But with Moro, he's already there. He's already like, I don't care for others. I have no loved ones. I wish just to destroy and, well, okay, devour, but it still begins with the letter D. As long as, Whis could keep a hold of him and basically say, look, I will let you devour these worlds, but only, the ones I tell you to. Yeah, you won't die. You get to live. Maybe it might lead to Moro being the next GOD whenever Beerus chooses to retire. Or maybe it might make Beerus pick up his boots and go like, okay, I need to work harder because I do not want to let that maniac become the next GOD.
To me, it's like, I know that you can draw a fandom, you can draw, a meme about the fandom, and your strong character appears, the fandom, oh, is he going to be a new GOD? But like, with Moro, I feel that the theme is there, and that there might be some foreshadowing.
Yeah. And that could definitely be something that we could talk about in detail in a discussion video whenever this battle finally ends and Moro is still alive. It will only work if he actually gets to live or if he gets spared. But it just feels like, surely by then the Dragon team will have to be going like, well, no, wait a minute, Goku. Wait. Instead of just going like, yay, Goku did it! Hooray! Goku's the greatest! Because that's what they usually do. They just go, whatever you say, buddy! They just follow him blindly. There's never been a moment where they've just suddenly gone, Goku, how could you be so stupid, and actually followed through with it for the entire arc. They eventually come to his way of thinking or just get on with it. They put up with it. But it's just something that I hope has some sort of consequences, because at the moment already, Moro's arc has got way more things to have consequences than any other arc in Super, that's for sure. Beerus is dead. And so long as they keep that up, then good. Goku needs to realize that his actions have basically led to somebody he cared about and respected passing. So hopefully this lights the fire underneath him and he actually, does what he's supposed to do as the main protagonist of the series.
Not that he didn't learn that lesson back in Cell Saga, but like...
Oh, that's way too long. Goku just needs a refresher, that's all. That's a long time ago, Like...
I know.
I know, people forget, and Goku forgets. He can forget things in time machines and talismans and stuff like that. Oh no, I forgot. Oops.
Oopsie daisy.
Yeah, that's such a get out. Oh no, I forgot the MacGuffin. Oh dear. That's going like, it's okay. We've got this MacGuffin that people will call hacks, but it's okay. We can nullify it by just saying, oh, he forgot it. Oops. Well, that just makes the character incompetent. That's just the silly part of it all. But okay, let's start wrapping things up here. So I would have to say that for the most part, this chapter does sort of break the trend that we've been seeing of like a good chapter, not so good chapter, good chapter. It sort of breaks this. This was all right. This was in terms of a Dragon Ball thing, it's very good. In terms of the martial arts, the action, the fighting, and Goku just kicking butt. It's very cathartic and satisfying. But in terms of the substance underneath it, it's a little bit light on the ground. But so long as it provided good content and good visuals, that's sort of okay for what this show is. It just needs to now actually get to actually bringing it home and finishing the story. Because otherwise it's just going to be like, how long are we going to be going here? Is chapter 65 going to be all about Goku dealing the final blow, but then, oh no, Moro's hand. Oh, now Moro's back in the game. But, yeah, does he eat his own hand? Because he can eat a whole person. What's stopping him from eating his own hand? And then,
oh no. Oh no.
Mind you, having a fist in your own mouth, basically just kind of like, I got to hand it to you with my own hand. But in all seriousness, though, if Unreal Gaming's observations, and I'm sure other people saw this too, if this does happen, then I could see this maybe going until chapter 66, maybe even 67. Or at the very least, it gives Moro the opportunity to escape. He absorbs Goku's power to instant transmit. Boom. Like, maybe he can't hold on to this power permanently because there's only one gem that's been unsealed. That's not been touched. So he might be able to use this power temporarily. He uses instant transmission to escape.
Yeah. Or, it can give the rest of the heroes the chance to get a team victory.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the only plus point from this, is that this means that everybody has to work together. Basically, place ambushes there while everybody fights. But, I would say in all, chapter 64, solid. Solid chapter. Weak in terms of content, in terms of story, but, this is a fight. The fight is there, and it's something that definitely got me hyped, especially in the main video, with the visuals, including the shockwave that went around the world. That was awesome. There were loads of moments I took my glasses off and that's gonna look epic animated. That is, and again, Toyotaro is definitely pushing the boat out there, saying, you should probably animate this, because it's gonna look very good. And seeing how Broly came out and it looked spectacular. Even if we can just get a fraction of that in the TV series, this will definitely make Dragon Ball very relevant in the modern era. There is so much potential here and so much hope. I wouldn't be surprised actually if it flops, because there are so many times that Toei drops the ball, and Shueisha in a way. They drop the ball right when they've got it and it's an easy pickup. Oh well. We'll just have to see how it goes. So, would you say, did you like the chapter half?
I like it more than I thought I would like it, yes.
I would say I liked it more than I expected. And in terms of the actual content, in terms of the paneling and composition, I really liked it. But let us know what you thought of that in the comments, as well as leaving a rating and reviewing on your respective podcasting platforms. And if you want to support the podcast as well, you can also become a caretaker of the Lookout by going to masako.cc/lookout for more information. Until the next outing, it just leaves me to say thank you so much to you, Have, for joining me again today.
Thank you, always a pleasure.
And hope you are all staying safe out there, and we are going to just be looking forward to chapter 65 and hoping that it actually either has some sort of conclusion or at least a semblance of where we are going to be going. So until next time, guys, I hope you're well and take care. Ta-ra!